Hi, welcome to GRE Vocabulary Wednesday. I'm Chris with Magoosh, and today's theme, curious compounds. What do I mean by curious compounds? Well, a compound word is formed from two other words. For instance, if I take the word here, iron, and clad, I get the word ironclad. We all know what iron is, and clad means to be dressed in something. This does not mean to walk around in knight's armor, with a sword in your hand. To be ironclad describes something that you cannot refute or disprove. For instance, logic or an argument. If that argument is ironclad, then nothing you say or do can disprove it. For instance, if I say that the earth is flat, that is not ironclad. As we've seen, we can go around the earth. We've seen the earth from space. It is round. Therefore, the fact that the earth is round is an ironclad argument. Now, you may be able to think of many ironclad arguments and others that perhaps aren't so ironclad. Next, we have mollycoddle. Now, this is an interesting word. First off, molly, which comes from mollify, isn't quite a word, but it's a person's name, so that's good enough. And coddle is, though, a word. To coddle is to kind of pamper and indulge. To mollycoddle is really to indulge. So it's an extreme form of to coddle. For instance, a mother, her name doesn't have to be Molly, who mollycoddles her child, is going to indulge that child's every wish and every little whim, and she's going to be so protective and etc., etc. That is the nature of mollycoddle. Quagmire. Great word. A quag is a swamp. A mire is a swamp. Put them together, you get a super swampy ground. Now, of course, that's not much use as far as the GRE word would go, so it has a figurative meaning. A quagmire is a, well, I was going to say it's a bog or a swamp, but we know that already. A quagmire is a very difficult situation that you just can't get out of. It's like a swamp. You get there, you can't move your legs anymore, you're stuck in the swamp. The most famous instance of this is the Iraq War, when Donald Rumsfeld, the former Secretary of State, said after a couple years in Iraq that it had become a quagmire, meaning it was a difficult situation. The U.S. at that time had hoped to leave very quickly and make it right for democracy, etc. That didn't happen, and even today we are still embroiled in the quagmire of Iraq. The U.S. is embroiled. And finally, oh my God, is that it? No, I knew I had another one. There was more compound words, because how could I forget slipshod? Slip, we know slip on the ground. Shod is Old English, meaning to be wearing shoes. And so this was such a cute word. Originally, slipshod meant that you walked around with your heels, the heels of your shoes, off of your heels. So you just kind of had the front part where your foot is in the actual shoe, and you kind of just loafed about. What a great word, but no, today slipshod has a different definition. Kind of comes from that. To be slipshod is to be careless, to not really be paying attention, which you can imagine is probably how someone who's wearing their shoes that way goes about life. So a building could have slipshod construction. That means that building is likely to topple over in the event of an earthquake. Don't enter the building. Slipshod could describe a person, one who doesn't really take much care in what he or she does. Whether or not they wear shoes in this fashion, well, that is a totally different issue. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place.